Hello everyone, my name is Sergio Fernando Baltazar Cervantes. I'm 23 years old and I'm studying at Unitec Guadalajara. I'm someone who's a fast learner, someone who can easily work under pressure, and someone who's open to new experiences and new knowledge. That's why I'm choosing Thailand as my destination, so I can get to know new people, new places, meet new techniques, learn from the cuisine, the culture, and even the religion. Today, I'm gonna be making some pan de muerto, which is a traditional bread that we make for Dia de Muertos here in Mexico. And I'm also gonna be making some diplomatic cream with chocolate bolita for the filling. For the bread, I'm gonna be using some flour, butter, milk, yeast, sugar, eggs, orange blossom flavor, and a pinch of salt. I'm gonna start by putting my flour on my working surface, and I'm gonna be making some sort of fountain or volcano so that I can put my milk and yeast in it. The milk is already warm, so the yeast can activate. And I'm gonna be putting the yeast. I'm gonna give it a little mix so that it's well incorporated. I'm gonna also be putting my sugar on the outside of the volcano, and also a pinch of salt. We can see the yeast starts to bubble, so right now we can start to mix the rest of the ingredients. And once the dough starts to look a little bit dry, I'm gonna add 1 egg at a time so that it keeps its moisture. I'm gonna be adding our last egg, and once our mixture starts to look almost like it's well incorporated, I'm gonna start adding the butter. Before I add the butter, I'm gonna be adding the esencia de azar, which is orange blossom flavor. Right now I have all the ingredients well incorporated on the dough, so I'm gonna start adding little by little some of the butter so I can start doing some fresh kneading and start incorporating all the butter. I'm gonna be adding the last of the butter, and I'm gonna continue to knead the dough until it's well incorporated and I have developed enough gluten. Right now I already have our dough already kneaded, so I'm gonna let it rest on this bowl. I'm gonna be using a wet towel so that I can cover the dough and it doesn't dry out, and I'm gonna start making the diplomatic cream. For the pressy cream, I'm gonna start by mixing our sugar with the cornstarch, and then I'm gonna add the egg yolks. Now I'm gonna add the egg yolks, and I'm gonna mix everything well. I'm gonna start by adding my milk so it can start to heat up, and I'm also gonna be adding my chocolate bolita that's already grated. The milk is already a little bit warm, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of it and I'm gonna add it to my egg yolks mixture so I can temper it. Once I already mix some of the milk, I'm gonna add the mixture of the yolks back to the pot. Now I'm just gonna wait until the mixture starts to thicken. The mixture has already started to thicken. I'm also gonna add a little bit of butter so that it gives the final cream a little bit of shine and texture. Now I'm gonna put my pasty cream on this bowl so I can put it in the fridge so that it can chill before adding my whipping cream. For the second part of my diplomatic cream, I'm gonna be mixing some whipping cream. Right now, I'm mixing both my whipping cream and my pastry cream so that I can end up with the diplomatic cream for the filling. Right now, I already coated my working surface on a little bit of flour so that I can start weighing my proportion of bread that I wanna make, and I'm gonna start proportioning it. With my hands, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the dough so that I can form a little ball, And then I'm gonna be making the bones that go on top of the pan de muerto. Once I have my desired form, I'm gonna be putting it on top of one of the big bowls. And I'm gonna repeat until each one of bread has its own pair of bones and skull. With another little bit of dough, I'm gonna be making just a little bowl, which is gonna be the skull that goes on top of the rest of the pan de muerto. Now I'm just gonna wait until the dough rises once again before I can put it in the oven to bake. Now that the dough has already risen once again, I'm gonna put it on the oven to bake. So now that the bread has finished baking, I'm gonna coat it with a little bit of melted butter so that I can also sprinkle some sugar on top of it for the final details, which is the traditional way of serving pan de muerto. And for my own twist, I'm gonna add the filling, the creme, the diplomatic cream, chocolate bolita. And that's it. That's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make some pan de muerto as much as I enjoyed making it. And I hope to see you guys soon in the kitchen in Thailand. Thank you.